idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runs sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened.
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson of USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.
Coyote fans, welcome into season 2, episode 28 of the Howling Podcast. We're mic'd up, nerded out, ready for some chaos. My name's Jordan Decker. I will be joined by fellow co-hosts Chad Berger and Mark Wendt very soon. A new friend of the show and senior student athlete on the women's basketball team, Elise Turrubiates, will join us tonight. Another fun week in Coyote athletics. Indoor track and field wrapped up their conference championships, and basketball, believe it or not, finished the regular season. March is here. So we'll have a full rundown for you tonight. As always, we'll give our Maloney Real Estate eye charts of the week and our Dairy Queen player of the week to close out the show. Quick disclaimer, the opinions on this show are Mark, Chad's, and mine, and do not represent USD or USD athletics. On the social media channels, you can find us on X at HowlWithUs3, myself at JD6OP5, Mark at WDiamond605, and Chad at Chad Berger, Birger, at Chad Berger. Welcome those joining on our Facebook page live tonight. If you don't follow us over there, just search the Howling Podcast. And then welcome to those on YouTube. If you do not follow us on YouTube, we are at the Howling Podcast. So whether you're joining us on X, Facebook, or YouTube, if you've got questions for us, comments for us, questions for Elise, feel free to leave a comment and we'll get those on screen throughout the show. And then finally, Instagram, we are just search _Howling_podcast. That's the socials. As always, tonight's show is brought to you by our friends at 19 Brewing Company down in Vermilion. So before we get going, a quick word from Katie at 19 Brewing Company.
Looking for a place where good beer meets better company? Welcome to 19 Brewing Company, Vermilion's first craft brewery and home to Coyote Legacy Blonde Ale. Brought to you by 2 USD alumni, Coyote Legacy isn't just any beer. It's a chance to give back to student scholarships while enjoying a refreshing blonde ale. With 12 rotating taps, a flavor at your self-seltzer, and homemade root beer, we have something for every Coyote fan. 19 Brewing Company. Good beer, better company.
All right, we're going to bring in the guys. Chad and I barely survived a trip up north last night. Mark, hope everyone's feeling better.
We're getting there. Yep.
Good to see you guys, though, tonight.
Happy March.
Yeah, it's March, guys. Let's
March.
go.
Best time of year.
Basketball madness. Let's go.
My alarm this morning was the CBS March Madness music.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone else
I listened to it like 4 times. Yep.
Yep. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Speaking of that time of year, Mark, what happened this last week?
This past week, men's basketball hosted their final 2 home games of the season. Defeated Omaha. The belly button came up to Vermilion. We defeated them 89-72 to sweep Omaha. We'll see them again real soon. And then to wrap up senior night, South Dakota State, we also swept them for the first time since 1997 in a comeback 75-70 win. Women traveled up north to the Great White North and defeated North Dakota 80-66. That set up a game for the 2 seed, and the Yotes will be the 3 seed. Softball went 1-3-1 on the season. That's not a on the weekend. Sorry, that's not a misprint. We had a tie. You have to stick around the end of the show to figure out what the heck happened there. And track and field, men and women both finished second at the Summit League Championships. A lot of really spectacular results there as well. So we'll get into all that later.
All right, Jordan.
She's number 24 on the court, but number 1 in everyone's hearts across Coyote Nation. We welcome new friend of the show, Elise Turrubiates. Elise, welcome to the Howling Podcast.
It's good to be here.
All right, let's get this one out of the way, Elise. Last night, how's everyone doing today? How was the locker room last night after the game, and how's everyone doing today?
I think as far as everyone today, I talked with Angie and I talked with Patience. Obviously, the seniors are going ahead and getting our mental right. We're trying to refocus our goals and I feel like, kind of get back to the basics and remember who we are. I know last night was not something that showed who we were. So coming back down to it, I think before the tournament, we need to really focus on getting our heads back in it and refocusing on what's really important right now. As far as the locker room vibes after the game last night, it was very similar. Coach touched on how we needed to obviously get back to the principles and the basics of what make us who we are, which is defense and playing smart. And I just don't think we showed that last night. But moving forward, I think that we'll be better prepared to handle the adversity that we face.
Elise, I'm going to kind of follow up on something you said there. We've kind of been talking about this all season. As a matter of fact, Coach Amy told us this before the season started.
Defending and rebounding are a must.
And we asked Coach Devin Amy when he was on our show about like the mentality for defending and rebounding. But I think that you've shown all season that you really epitomize the mentality for defending and rebounding. What is it like to go into a game just knowing that your biggest job is to go up and grab rebounds and stop the other team?
I kind of just take pride in it, like I know what I can do. And I know that, if I'm not scoring, then neither is the other person, or at least I try to make it to that point, sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, but just getting your nose to the grind. I mean, everything else will come. A lot of people think of defense and rebounding as a troublesome task or worrisome. Players or tires, like it just takes a lot of effort. But I don't know. I have fun doing it. I think it's fun going to go get a rebound over somebody that's 4 inches taller than me. And then defensively, I mean, I think defense wins games. I think that should be a part of every team or coach's principles is defense wins games.
I'm not saying this because you're on the show. You're one of the most amazing rebounders I've ever seen. Like a lot of people wait for the ball to come to them. You attack it. Was that something you've always had?
I think I've always had a knack for it. I think it kind of got honed when I was from 8th grade to around my sophomore year of high school. I played volleyball, and I think that really helped with my timing. And then another part of it was that we were always expected to rebound from my high school coach. So when I got into college, I found it really shocking that not everybody rebounds. Because at my high school was like, y'all better go and get that ball or else y'all are going to run. So I don't know.
Elise, you came, for those listening that might not know, came from Tarleton State, WAC conference. I just wanted to get your thoughts now that league play is done in the regular season. What were your thoughts on the Summit League and the teams and how you competed against them?
It was different for sure. I know that stigma with the, down south, they want to play fast and they want to run and gun. And then here it's more slowed down and more methodical. So having to put those two together and try to make the best of it was actually really cool. And adjusting to different play styles around here, because I've had play styles that I've never actually played against down here. So it was different, but it was different in a good way.
It's a little colder up here too.
Not a little. Not a little.
Oh, and this has been a warm winter.
Yes.
Yes.
No, that's not what I heard. I heard that it snowed the most this year and the first than it was last year.
It snowed a little bit in December there, but yeah, this.
Is that what they're saying in Verm? Are they getting soft down there? Are they getting soft for winter down there?
This was light.
I've always been soft for winter. I have on fuzzy socks right now and a sweater. And the temperature in my house is 75 right now. Yeah, I'm freezing.
You have like 2 space heaters blowing at your feet right now too. Under.
It's all cold. I need to get a space heater. I don't know what I think, but yeah. If you see me around, I got earmuffs and gloves on normally.
Elise, I was going to ask you. So, Jordan, you mentioned you came from someplace else. What was it like getting recruited? You're going into the end of your career here, and to get recruited someplace else. What was that process like, and how did you find out that South Dakota was the right place?
The end of the year last year, I had my meeting, and it just didn't work out, and I decided to go ahead and enter the transfer portal. And when I did, Coach Devin actually contacted me within the first couple of days. I think it was within the first 2 days, and he was trying to get me on a visit. And I was like, I don't even want to think about it right now. Like, my birthday's coming up. I'll talk to you after my birthday. So my birthday came, hit him up. He was like, you know what, let's get you on a flight out here. So I came out here. This was actually my first ever official visit to college. And when I came out here, I was looking for a place that was going to take care of me, not just mentally, but physically, and as well as they cared about me off the court as well as on the court, when I came up here, my mom was stressing because by the time I left, I was like, you know what? Like, I think this is it. Like, I like Coach Carey and I like Coach Dev, and they seem like good people. And she was like, oh, well, you don't know, you got to see. I'm just worried because this is your first ever visit. And I was like, you know what? I'm 22 years old. I think I could figure out what's good right now. And I ultimately just came to the decision to come here, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
We've enjoyed having you, that's for sure. I did want to ask you about the 4 seniors, obviously Angie, yourself, Patience, and Josie. How aware were you guys of kind of what happened last year here, and even the history of the women's basketball here?
As far as last year goes, they were very upfront, and I've obviously been a part of program rebuilds, so I understand. I've been a part of 3 program rebuilds, so it's just one of those things that I was used to. And as far as the history goes, I knew on the visit that y'all had a really good year, I think in 2020, 2022, and y'all went to Sweet 16. If I'm getting that wrong, please correct me. But I didn't know just how popular women's basketball was here. So that was actually really exciting to see.
I think it was 2022, right? Is that bad if it's 4 years ago and I'm already like, wait, was it?
It was ish, yeah.
Ish. Elise, are you still majoring in psych down in Vermilion? And if so, what are kind of plans after graduation for you?
Yeah, so I'm getting my master's in addiction counseling and drug abuse prevention. As far as plans for after, I've been thinking about overseas. I know for sure that I'm going to go home for a bit. Obviously there's place for me there. I'm going to finish master's. But I'm just kind of going with the flow.
I love it. Are you set to graduate this spring then?
No, my master's takes 2 years.
2 years.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can come sit by us next year then.
Yeah, hopefully there's a way we can keep you on the court. I don't know how that all works, but
yeah, Dev's already trying to find loopholes. He was like,
yeah.
I know a law school. I know where they're at. Maybe they can help us find that. We'll have to see.
See, y'all let me know.
So Elise, we kind of talked about some of the other seniors, but we had Angie on the show earlier on in the season, and she's just spectacular. But we've seen some great things. What's it like being with her? She's such a spark plug out on the court, and tell us a little bit about what she's like on a everyday basis, and is she always full of that energy?
And Angie's a bit of an eccentric. obviously she's my roommate. Me, her, and Patience all live together. She's like the cat of the house. I think that's what me and Patience say, because you never know when she's here. You never know when she's gone. But then when she's around, it's like, what's up, dude? Like, it's real chill. But she definitely is eccentric, and she has a very unique personality. She's been very enjoyable to be around.
So now we get ready for the Summit League tournament. Have you seen any pictures, videos of what that environment's like? And have you ever been in something similar to that?
Yeah, so in New Mexico, people don't really think it's all that popular, but basketball is pretty popular in New Mexico. We played our state championships in the Pit down in Albuquerque. So I'm assuming it's going to be very similar to that. I played 4 state championships in the Pit. The arena's completely full and it's loud. You can't hear nothing. The altitude's choking you out. But yeah, I think I'm pretty well aware of what's going to happen next week or this weekend.
That's awesome to hear, because I've heard in the past that depth kind of takes a little bit, so that shoot around is really important. And no, that's good to hear. And I kind of want to piggyback that off Mark. What's this week look like for you guys going into Friday? Is it kind of the same old? What's practice like, film session? What are you doing this week leading up to the Summit tourney?
I think we got to really dig deep when it comes to, obviously we're playing Denver next, and we want to think about that game first. At this time in the year, it's time to go. And I think that sense of urgency is something that needs to develop very early, even before the game comes around. I'm not talking the day before. Attention to detail the whole week and not letting up for nothing, because that's the only way we're getting through this.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's a great environment. It's always really fun. Real quick question. I'll do some trivia for my co-host here. Do you guys know the site of the 1983 NCAA championship game, men's game, championship game?
Was that the NC State game?
That was NC State. Yep.
New Mexico.
That was at the Pit. Yeah. So that was a historic arena there. Yeah. Lots
Where's the damn crowd noise, Chad? You do it for everybody else. Studio audience.
Sorry. Well, yeah. Well, that's how it goes, Jordan. I'm impressed that you got that, Jordan. That was the first trivia question you got right in quite a while. So, Elise, when all is said and done, what do you hope that people say about you in your career with the Coyotes?
I hope they look back and they go, she gave it all she got, and that's it. I mean, I try every game to go out there and leave it all on the floor, and I hope other people see that too.
We absolutely do. Absolutely do. Yes, we love watching you. It's awesome. It's been a blast this year, and we're looking forward to some big things this next week and beyond.
Thank you, guys.
Mark, anything to finish up?
Well, I was just going to ask you real quick, and you've kind of touched on it a little bit. Obviously, you're a senior. You're playing with 3 other seniors there. Is that the sense of urgency here, where we're only guaranteed one more game? Is that? I mean, Coach Amy talked about it a little bit, but is that ratcheted up here?
Oh yeah, it's going to be amped up 10 times. We just got to take care of business and put our money where our mouth is. It's time to show everybody what they've been waiting on.
You guys, your senior class gave Coyote Nation a lot of optimism for the way the direction this program's headed, especially after last year, Elise. And we want to thank you and the seniors and all the other student athletes on the team that came in and are giving USD a chance. You're right. Get back to what you guys do best. Focus, slow down, focus on the basics, defense and rebounding. No doubt we're going to see you guys Sunday afternoon cutting some nets, but let's take it one possession at a time, right? Can't wait to see you guys up in Sioux Falls.
We'll see you up there.
All right. Thanks, Elise.
Thanks,
Elise. Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes. All right. Well,
A+.
guys, amazing. Awesome interview. Looking forward to
button works
watching.
now, but not for trivia. Okay, just
Oh, sorry. Did that not work earlier? Yeah, I don't know.
oh, is that a delay? Whoops.
Whoops. Yeah. No.
Ah,
Guys, we
she's
say
fantastic.
it every week, but these athletes are amazing, right? They're such great people. You know, if you go to the games and you don't appreciate how great of people they are and everything else, you're missing out on a lot of this.
Yeah. The four of them, you know, obviously they've only been here a year, but the impact they've made to get us back to kind of where we all feel like we belong. I mean, that's what they're going to be remembered for, regardless of what happens up in Sioux Falls.
The last couple of years will just be a hiccup in the timeline.
Yep.
Well, next up, news and notes, Mark.
News and notes. As we mentioned with Elise, get your summer league tickets. It's going to be a party. Hospitality room will be open. There'll be a lot of red lights in there and really expensive beers and just a great time. That's where we get our best pictures. So if you want to be a guest on the show, come find us at Summer League Tournament. That's where
and not be photoshopped in the picture.
Exactly. That's your chance. So and we should have mentioned this with Elise probably. Isaac Bruns and Josie Hill partnered with Alex Lemonade Stand, as Aiden did during the football season. Check our socials. We retweeted that and reposted it on all of them to find the link to donate. They're kind of down in the standings right now, and we need to get them back on top. As we've been mentioning, football and volleyball season tickets are on sale. Football portal window due to the coaching change is closed. I think it was just -1 as far as I know. And calling all Yotes, April 17th. Tickets, tables, and seats are available now. GoYotes.com.
According to Coach Mitztham at the Pizza Ranch thing, it was Mikey and a couple coaches, I think, and we filled them. So
Yep.
Well, let's recap some of the games, guys. What happened this last week? Well, Mark, you mentioned it earlier, but women's basketball went up to Grand Forks, North Dakota, and put a hurting on the Fighting Hawks the other night. This one was a final 80-66. Yotes got off to a lead in the first quarter. The Fighting Hawks kind of battled back, but man, the Yotes looked really tough the third and fourth quarters in this one and won it pulling away 80-66, improving their record to 22-7 on the season and 12-3 in the Summit League. In this game, kind of pull up some of the stats here if I can. Yotes shot relatively well, about 49.2% for the game. But look at that 3-point percentage, 47.4% for the Yotes. And then the free throw percentage, making those free throws is always a big plus there as well. So lots of good things happened here for the Yotes. Go ahead and dissect it a little bit more, Mark.
Yeah, it was, you know, you look at the standings and you kind of think, well, North Dakota's been on the struggle bus a little bit and we'll just eventually pull away. And it honestly took a little bit longer than I kind of thought. Obviously it was senior night for North Dakota. So they played hard and every time we threatened to kind of pull away, they would hit a big shot and just kind of hang around until that fourth quarter where we finally got some distance. But I mean, like you mentioned, Chad, offensively, those numbers look really good. And I wish we had those, you know, in the next game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But yeah, North Dakota played hard. So.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and look at some of the individual statistics. Angie finished with 17 in this one. Molly Joyce had 16. Elise had 16 as well. And then Jenna Hopp had 13 in the victory. On the rebounding side, Patience Williams led the Yotes with 8 rebounds. And Angie Robles had 7 rebounds. A couple friends of the show there we were mentioning. Overall, Yotes finished with the game with 15 assists to only 8 turnovers. And numbers like that are going to win you a lot of games. So great job by the Yotes in this one. Next up, Yotes went up to First Bank and Trust Arena in Brookings, South Dakota. And this one was not good.
Not good.
Jordan and I were there. We made the long drive from Vermilion all the way up to Brookings Saturday, and it didn't start out great, guys. This one, I mean, only scoring 8 points in the first quarter, and South Dakota State scored 27. We'll pull up the percentages here in a little bit, but then, the second half was equally as frustrating for the Yotes, and not a whole lot we can do. iChart of the Week nominees for Missy Brooks, Amy Sanchez, and Doug Knight for all three of them, but we'll talk about that later on.
Anytime you get Missy and Doug, I'm sure they're fine people.
Yeah.
But Chad and I looked at each other, and we text and in our group chat, we're like, free throws, here we go. There were a lot of they're just not good.
Yeah. Go ahead and find us, Summit League. We're not
Exactly.
coaches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can see some of the field goal percentages here for the Yotes. It just not great shooting, and I think that was the difference in the game. The Yotes just could not make the shots in this one. You even look at that second quarter where the Yotes did make the shots, 8 for 11, 72%. But then you look down at South Dakota State's second quarter, they made more field goals in the second quarter than the Yotes did. So that's got to be a very frustrating thing, including that half-court buzzer beater at the end of the second quarter and the first half. That was kind of just, I don't know, nail in the coffin. I don't know how to say it. It was
you had a little bit of momentum. You could kind of feel a little bit of a shift there. And it was to 16, but you could feel like if we can get a stop, but we talked about it, Chad, to let him catch it and even to get a dribble off. It was a relatively open shot for whoever hit that.
Yeah.
Buzzkill.
Yeah. Can't let them catch it going towards the basket. That's the thing. When there's 2 seconds left, you got to make them go back to the ball. I don't know. I've never coached basketball other than my son's Y-ball league when he was in first grade. So I don't know anything about this, but I'll just say what I think. And then if people don't like it, that's
right. And like you said too, this is looking at and I know it was several games ago, looking at the box score here compared to last time we played them. 3 of 22. And I think the last time, give me one sec here, we went 11 of 25 from 3. That's 24-point difference right there. They were able to get to the hoop a little bit more. Defense just didn't seem to have it. It was just a bad game. We just couldn't hit shots.
Yeah. So,
and as Elise said, and as we all know, that's very uncharacteristic. That's not the Yotes team that's been playing this season. So,
well, it's over. It's over. It happened.
It's over.
It's over.
It's done.
So, Molly Joyce had 21 for the Yotes in this one. Elise had 9 rebounds for the Yotes.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at that assist to turnover ratio. As promising as it was earlier in the week, this one, only 5 assists and 14 turnovers in this one, and a lot of ISO ball, not a whole lot of movement around there, and I think that really hurts the offense.
Yep.
And not a lot of made shots either. You can't get assists if you don't make shots either. I don't know if you guys know how assists work, but it's when you pass it to a teammate, they make a shot. But yeah, that's the other thing.
It might be our season low in rebounds there, 29. And the other thing I was going to point out, we came into this game one of the best in the entire country in points per game defense. I think it was 56 or 57 points per game, and South Dakota State had 51 at halftime. So they just, if they're going to shoot 137% in the first half, and we're just got ourselves in a hole and never got out of it.
Yeah. State played a good game. We're not the jokes at the officiating crew are just jokes. We're not blaming officiating for the loss, obviously, but we know that the Yotes team, that's not them. That was an uncharacteristic game.
Yeah. No big deal if the other team steps on the end line 2 possessions in a row and it doesn't.
Missy Brooks.
So usually at this point we pull up the Summit League standings, but at this point the Summit League regular season is over, so we have a tournament seeding bracket here. You can see that with that loss, the Yotes ended up in the 3 seed for the Summit League tournament and will play on Friday, March 6th, 25 minutes after the first game. The first game tips off at noon, so whenever that gets done, add 25 minutes to that, and that's when that will take place. Make sure to get there. The first game is Oral Roberts, St. Thomas on Friday, so that's going to be the 4-5 matchup. So yeah, get there early. There should be plenty of seats. Your seats are going to be available and everything. So
I'll say it if I may. I'll say it now, and this goes for men. follow USD Coyotes on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Follow the men's and women's basketball pages as well. They'll post information about the hospitality room. Go to the Summit League website. Individual sessions are on sale. Plenty of good seats in the lower bowl. Upper bowl, if you've never sat up there, it's not terrible. Not a lot of leg room, but pay attention to the socials. They're announcing stuff. That's how you can find out more information. But yeah, it's kind of cool. We get all day Friday to ourselves. We don't have to worry about another in-state school playing on Friday.
Yeah. And those Yote walks are really fun too, right?
Oh, they're a blast.
fantastic,
Bring the
yeah.
kiddos, take PTO off if you can, if you're lucky enough, and get over there on Friday. Get the kids. So what, 25 minutes? So that'd be 2:30-ish, 2:25.
I think it's 90 minutes before tip. So, and the hospitality room's open 2 hours before the game. So I'm guessing it's going to be 12:30, shortly after the tip off of that first game, they'll open that up. So
Guys,
Well,
We don't know anything, do we, guys? We are.
so just watch the socials because we don't know anything. So just pay attention to what times everything are on the socials, and hopefully you can get that information and show up.
the other thing I was just going to bring up here, we mentioned Angie and what a leader she is on this team. Obviously it would have been great to win up in Brookings, but drawing Denver in the first round, I think that'll have her and the seniors' attention. So
Yep.
might have worked out for us.
Well, lots of other stuff happened, and including the men's basketball team had a couple big wins this past week. Last week on this show, the season was over, right? I mean, goodness gracious, everything was just going wrong for the Yotes, and then all of a sudden this week happened, and boom! The belly button of America sent their team up here to the Vermilion, and the Yotes just put a hurting on them.
Take that,
In
Michael
this
Sharp.
one, yep. Take that, Michael. Yotes got off to a 10-point lead at halftime and then just pulled away at the end. 89-72 victory in this one. This one pulled the Yotes to 15-15 on the season, 7-8 in the Summit League. And just a dominant performance in front of over 1,500 fans in the SCSC.
Their best game of the year, I think.
Yep. Start to end for sure.
Yep.
First half numbers, Yotes shot 53% from the field, 33% from 3-point land, and struggled a little bit from the free throw line, but shored that up in the second half. A little bit lower percentage from the field, but a little bit better from the 3-point line and much improved from the free throw line. And that's, we're going to mention free throws here a little bit, but I feel like the Yotes have really done a great job with free throw shooting this season, guys.
Yeah. We were pulling our hair out last year. Some of the stat lines we were looking at on Sunday nights, but for the most part, that hasn't been an issue this year.
We'll just forget about the ORU game.
Right. Never happened.
And guys, this game was on Wednesday night because CBS Sports Network came in and said they were going to do it and all that stuff, right? So I was watching on CBS Sports Network because I was unable to go to the SCSC. My family has church activities. It's Lent, that type of thing. And so I was watching on CBS Sports Network, and Wally Zerbiak at halftime was raving about Cam Fens and how much he loved him. And that was kind of cool to hear, Wally Zerbiak and John Rothstein and those guys sitting and breaking down Cam Fens. It was awesome.
Wally knows ball.
That's right.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
The clips, I believe it's on the men's basketball team on Instagram. That clip is on there. So yeah, it's really cool.
As far as individually, Jordan Crawford had 26 points for the Yotes. Uzziah had 18. Vince Buzelis, earlier in the season, Vince was trying to find his way, and he was playing some really good ball, but his scoring has drastically improved here the last few weeks of the season, and he's getting double digits almost every single game.
Yeah, that's huge. Absolutely huge.
But it's his aggressiveness too. Like even some of the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, his cuts and how he's able to draw defenders off. Like he is a presence out there on offense.
Yep.
And on Saturday, guys, I'll just say on Saturday, I noticed his play at the rim I mean, he's not up there dunking it, but he's very under control when he attacks the rim and does a great job and almost always puts those in. So excellent job from him. Wally Zerbiak's favorite player, Cam Fens, only had 6 points on the game. They were all in the first half. But guess what? We didn't need him to score in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other guys were taking the load off. Jesse McIntosh also had 13 in the game in this one.
Jesse, I feel like we said this about Vince a couple weeks ago. Jesse's now at the point where like you're seeing that progression each and every game. He's playing better and better and realized what we were missing, when he was hurt. So yeah, you're right. Cam, foul trouble, took him out of the game. Didn't matter. Our guards stepped up. And that was, as Mark said too, that overall team, that was the best game, I think, in conference play we've had, maybe even of the whole season.
And Mark, you didn't highlight this, but look at the minutes for Jesse. 14. How many points did he have? 13. I mean, that's a good ratio, guys.
Yes,
I don't know if you're aware of it.
And Ethan Kaiser's first start.
Yes.
Yeah. Friend
of the show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show bounce, right? That's what happened there.
Yeah, Harry Bird went 2 for 4 from 3. I'm just saying. Harry Bird shooting 50% from 3.
The coaching staff was like, hey, you know what? We saw you on the Howling podcast here a couple weeks ago. Let's go ahead and get you in that starting 5, Ethan.
That's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
All right. Well, Saturday, South Dakota State came to town, and this one, guys, I mean, the crowd was rocking. The SCSC was very, very well attended, right?
Yeah.
3,500 plus fans there. And, Summit League sent out a decent officiating crew. Kevin Raher, new friend of the eye chart, as we'll see here in a few minutes. Tariq Lucas, old friend of the eye chart. So lots of good stuff there. And then Gerald Williams. I'll give my referee breakdown here, but I don't remember Gerald doing a whole lot of games. But the first half, he didn't call any against us. So he's on my good list so far.
Future friend of the show.
Yeah, no, I doubt that. So it was a fun environment. Senior day, Mark, they did the senior day activities before the game, which, good Mark there. Good response to, I think, some of the feedback that they got from the previous week, but good stuff. But yeah, South Dakota State came out, they were shooting really well the first half and went into halftime with a 4-point lead, but then the second half, the defense really stepped up for the Yotes. Some of the scoring was spectacular, and the Yotes ended up winning 75-70 in this one, pulling the final regular season record for the Yotes to 16-15 and 8-8 in the Summit League.
Tremendous game. I mean, I remember when I was taking the boys to get concession in the bathroom, like you could just overhear, man, how are we in this game? How are we only down 4 and they're shooting 60-70% from the field? And we couldn't buy a bucket. And it's just the resilience of this group. Never, as Mark, as you say, never a doubt. Never a doubt. And the crowd was a huge factor. I think that number's under. I thought there was more than that at the SCSC, but great environment. They brought a few hundred fans. It's always a fun environment, State U down in Vermilion. But once again, Cam, I guess, is if this is a segue into the stat sheet. But Cam had some foul trouble, but our starters, Ethan got the start again. I mean, they did a great job of shooting it, a great shot selection in the second half, as we see here, 50% from the field.
Yeah. So you mentioned the hot start for the Jackrabbits in this one. They shot 53% from the field in the first quarter or first half, and 5 of 7 from 3-point land. Just really did good. They were on fire, and somehow the Yotes hung in there with them while shooting 41% and 33%. Well, a big part of that was the free throws, right? We mentioned free throws earlier, but getting to the line 14 times and then making 11 of those free throws in the first half. That's a 6-point edge right there, guys. And that's a big difference. And that makes up the difference in 3-point shots.
One thing that doesn't pop out in the first 2 slides we have on this game here is South Dakota State hit a 3-pointer to go up 36-19 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. And you guys know as well as I do. We sat through a number of these. You just think, well, it's going to be one of those days. And like we've been saying all year, like Coach B and the boys, they do not quit. They chipped away, and we got it down to, more than manageable at halftime, and outscored them plus 22. Since after that, they hit that 3 at 36-19. So
there was
amazing game. I wish I could have been there.
And Chad, I don't know if you saw it. There was some butt chewing going on in the huddle. And instead of hanging their heads or, turning away from coach, they took it. They took it from coach, and Cam and a couple others, they responded very well in this game. The points in the paint, man, it was another battle. I mean, State's got that Wilkinson kid, and Seiler, I think, was the one that lit us up. I think that he had like over 20 points, but Damon and Cam, I doubt we'll get to see them again this season, but that was a fun matchup to watch twice this season. Both posts with great footwork.
Yeah, and guys, Cam Fenn's blocks second half.
Yeah,
on him.
Huge.
If you haven't seen that, you got to go back and rewatch that. That was.
I'm assuming like our Twitter pages posted that, the men's basketball page, they posted blocks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, several angles. Yeah. Good
stuff. Well, as far as the game went, Jordan Crawford actually and Cam both had 17 in this one to lead the Yotes. Cam also finished with 7 rebounds. I had Mark, you weren't there. Okay, you were missed. But I had a whole new group of friends that typically don't sit there in section 106 right next to me. And we had everyone playing the Cam Fenn's got a rebound, take a drink game. And it was fun. And so I really appreciate everyone for hanging in there with me.
Yeah, you picked a good game for it, because some nights you would have died because he had 15, 16 of them. So the other thing I want to mention here is you guys mentioned Vince in the Omaha game, and Sean Morris was on with Jay Elson doing TV, and Sean Morris was raving about Vince's patience once he got near the rim with either a head fake or a pump fake, and like you say, Jordan, just even though it's chaotic down there and you're 7-footers trying to take the ball away, just his patience around the rim was really, really remarkable, and Sean pointed that out as well. So keep it up, Vince. We need you. That's a nice added bonus to the lineup here.
And I told this to Chad after the game and folks watching live. Okay, you see the field goal, 23 of 51. SDSU went 27 of 64. They shot it 13 more times, and they out-rebounded us by 13 that game. You look at those two, and you mean to tell me that we're winning the game? I'm like, okay, we won it by being aggressive and at the free throw line.
Yep.
And shooting free throws very well again.
Yeah. Well, I was going to point out, like, Uzziah, like, he's a freshman, guys, and he doesn't play like a freshman. He plays like he's a seasoned vet, but you look at his stat line. He didn't have the greatest shooting performance in this game, 4 for 14 from the field, 0 for 5 from three-point land. But guess what? Every time he went to the free throw line, he made it. 7 for 7 from the free throw line in this game. And look at Jordan Crawford, 8 for 9, Cam Fenn's 5 for 6. I mean, everyone was making their free throws, and that's where the game was won.
I'm not going to lie. I thought Jordan made more threes than that, because I remember his one, and it was the highest rainbow shot I think he's had all year. I can't remember when exactly it was, but the place went nuts because I think he had of his obviously like little crossover and then a step back and then just rainbows it right through. Yep. So is that okay, Chad? Your numbers guy, is that 70 of our 75 from the starting 5 there? It's got to be.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. That's awesome. We're finding different ways to win at the right time of the season. I love that. Great game. Great game.
Shout out Ethan Kaiser, friend of the show. I mean, 3 for 4 from the 3-point land. Made his shots. And guess what? The one he was just egregiously taken out underneath, and he sunk the free throw afterwards. I mean, that's hard to do after you just get almost just brutally attacked like that and still make the shot. And then you have to go to the free throw line and knock that in. So great job.
I mean, that shot and that foul really sparked the comeback. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
That was the the lighter to the fuse there. So
I saw there was some whining. I saw there was some whining on that play. You got to let a player land. You got to let a player land.
Tariq, that was a good call.
That's
you know
what I'm
what?
saying. It was a good call. It was the right call.
So you mentioned Mark wasn't at the game, right? Mark was not there. So I did go over to Mark's house before the game, and I got the eye chart, right? And there was one point before the game, I said, Tariq, I don't want to have to show you this, during the game. And he laughed at me, and we had a good time. And then I did hold it up at one point, and before he even signaled in the foul call, the number to the officials, he pointed at me because he knew it was coming.
But we get Tariq for the Omaha game.
Oh, Tariq's fantastic. I like that guy. He's got a good sense of humor and a good official. He called that foul, that egregious one there on Ethan. So, yep, very good job there. It was senior night, guys. We mentioned this. You can see here, I got Jordan Deckard on this one. Cam's standing right in front of me. But
I think about 12 people got Jordan because of Cam.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
He's a tall guy. He's a tall guy. Friend of the show. But yeah, it was great. Two of these guys just came in, in January, and they haven't been with the team for long, but it was just awesome to have them a part of the program and chipping in. Silas and why am I blanking on
Caleb?
No.
Trent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Silas
sorry.
and Trent. Yeah, Silas and Trent
Trent
just came in January and did a great job adding, to the depth of the program and Caleb, he's doesn't get a whole lot of minutes, right? You don't see him in a whole lot of games, but for him to just stick with this program and do all the things that he's asked to do on a day in and day out basis, that says a lot about his integrity and his character, and he's going to go, really far in life with that type of thing.
And PD talked post game too. Trent might not be stuff in the stat sheet, but it's what he's doing in practice and the support on the bench and supporting the guys. And Mark, you heard the post game. Caleb, I think, has something with his back, and he broke his nose or something. Like
Ethan's the one battling the back problems.
Ethan is okay.
Caleb got a shout out post game from PD. Caleb got the Gator belt after the game for just being going 110% every single practice, even though he's not seen the floor in many, many games here, but never puts his head down, hasn't complained one time, and is a large reason why we're prepared to go out and beat the teams we've been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. And then Cam, obviously,
Cam
doing his thing. I don't know if there's enough we can say about him. I wish that the injury last year wouldn't have happened. I feel like, the end of the season would have been a different story. But, yeah, he's been spectacular this season. And, very glad to say that he's a friend of the show.
Yeah, great guy. Basketball aside, he's a great guy.
Yep.
All right. Well, Summit League tournament bracket has been announced. And, guys, if you would have told me January 1st of this year that USD would be the 4 seed in the Summit League tournament, I would not have believed you one bit.
I would have said, what the heck happened to everybody else?
Yeah. No, that's pretty remarkable.
Last week, right? We needed a handful of things to happen. Not only us winning 2, but I think Omaha and Denver combining to lose the final 3 games combined needed to also happen. And it did.
Yeah, and as you look at this bracket, Jordan, I know you're famous for filling out brackets. Yeah. I don't see an L on here. I think I see Yotes champion. So I mean, I
see a couple of revenge games and beatdown games, some unique rematch opportunities. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, the first of which is we got to go find the clip of that one guy on Omaha. I know his name, but I'm not going to say it. Who did
Osborne.
The pause down. We got to find that clip and #never forget. And
Tony's a lights out shooter, and we did a great job on him on Wednesday. He's a really good basketball player. Both games. You're right. Yeah, down there too.
Yep.
That's a fun one, Yote fans. I don't know how us 3 can hype it up anymore. Otherwise, if you're listening and you can't get to Sioux Falls because you live far away, you best be texting people that live close by and be like, "Did you get your tickets? Are you going? Go for me." Heck, buy a ticket for somebody if you can't make it. We need that place packed in red on Friday night.
Yeah. Friday night, 6:00. Be there. The Denny. All right. Some picks from the week here, guys. obviously I was there on Saturday. I take selfies with people, and so I got one with the cheerleaders and Charlie here. Jordan, tell us about the two on the upper right hand side here.
Yeah, those are our kids, our boys, Grayson and Reddick, and they have been big Cam Fenn supporters all year. Our youngest is obsessed with Cam's height and how tall he is, and he's always like, number 54, number 54. I'm like, his name's Cam. Nope, he's number 54. So Chad being just awesome with getting autographs compared to myself. I always feel like I don't belong to get autographs, but that was one I made sure of before we left for Brookings that we got Cam, and fortunate enough to get him right after his interview with Midco. So thought I'd grab that picture kind of in the moment. They've, no pun or pun intended, they've looked up to Cam this season, and I'm sure other kids have as well. Just the heart he plays with, and a great representation of himself, his family, and USD.
So how about the Lego guy?
Yeah, I bought that at Bricks and Minifigs in Sioux Falls a couple years ago now, I want to say. Apparently there's a licensing issue, so you can't get them anymore. If we can not have the licensing issue and get those back, I did have about 8 people message me on Facebook asking where they got or where they could get it. But I thought, why not? Last games of the season, so I brought him to Vermilion for the guys' game and then up to Brookings for the girls' game. He stayed in my pocket for most of the girls' game. I didn't really feel like taking him out in that environment, but
yeah, probably for the best. We just about got attacked as it was. I don't want, yeah.
So on that bottom left pick, Chad. So that was Chad and I's seats that we got, and we didn't even get to tip, and we were both like, how can people, our necks were hurting. It was not a good seat.
Are you even technically in the building? Like that's terrible.
So I'll say this, guys, if I've been to almost every single basketball arena in the state of South Dakota, not everyone, but most of the major ones. Okay. The SCSC is number one. Okay. Number one, without a doubt, of places to watch a basketball game in the state of South Dakota. Now they did some nice little upgrades up there in Brookings, but guess what? Those seats just prove to you that's not even close to number one. Okay. If you're going to sell tickets where you have obstructed views because of, other seating and railings and other things like that, and then you have people who are literally having to turn their neck 45 degrees to be able to watch a basketball game, it's not a good place, not a good environment. So, not great. We were able to maybe sneak our way down to row 2 behind the bench for later on in the game to witness what was happening down there. But yeah, not great, not a great environment.
No. Overall good experience. The ushers were friendly. Obviously Chad and I stuck out like sore thumbs, as did about 50 other people in there with red on, but ushers were great. Fans, listen, I know there's bad apples. There just seems to be a little bit more. They were kind of a little obnoxious, sometimes directly at us for no reason, especially when they're grown men making it is what it is, but it's some nice upgrades. It really is compared to what it used to be. I told Chad it kind of looks like they tried to do a miniature version of the Denny, and like the sections of people are only like 20 to 40 seats, so it looks quite full, and I think it seats about 5,000, so it's about 1,000 or so less than the SCSC. But food was good. They had a dome dog-ish kind of thing.
It didn't smell good. Your breath didn't smell good after you ate that.
Oh, thanks, John. Overall, it was a good experience. I will probably wait another 13 years to go to a sporting event in there again, but we did it, crossed it off. And then we had Wendy's afterwards. We meant to try to go to a local establishment, but maybe if it wasn't a 35-point loss, we would have tried a local place.
And a long day too. Okay, I'm getting older.
That's
yeah.
Your knees were I could hear it. They were cracking.
Well, I was going to say the bottom middle one here. This is Kevin Raher, the official during the men's game. he does all kinds of games, Mountain West, all kinds of stuff all across the country, and he has a good sport with the eye chart as well. And so we got a friend of the eye chart photo with him before the game. He did a fantastic job during the game, and it was fun. All right, guys. Well, that was the weekend. So next up, track and field, Jordan.
Yeah, really quick. I'll try to be quick. Track and field at Summit League Championship up in Grand Forks at UND. Day one. A lot of these names we've said a lot the last few weeks, but Alex Sindelar named women. Stuff happened. Named Women's Scholar of the Championship. Riley Hansen, long jump, wins the event with a jump of 19 feet 11 inches. That is good for third best in USD indoor history. Ellie Thomas set the meet record in the 800 with a run of 2 minutes 7 seconds. That is second best in USD indoor history. The men medley team won gold, first place, and sets the meet record with a time of 9 minutes 53.49 seconds. And the women's medley team placed second, but they break the school record with a time of 11 minutes 32.9 seconds. No surprise here. Delaney Smith wins the weight throw, and then Kaylin Harland won the pole vault, 17 feet 3.5 inches for men's pole vault, wins gold, and that is good for 9th all-time USD indoor history. That was day one. Let's move on to day two, where the Yotes doubled up the amount of wins and won 8 events. The women swept the 800 meter and the pole vault. That means 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 800 meter Berkeley, England set the meet record that Ellie broke just on the previous slide, running 2 minutes, 7.4 seconds to win gold. Ellie finished second with 2:09, and then Kalia Cheney, 2:09.31. So is that 1/100th of a second for third? I'm sure that's a fun conversation afterwards. Marlene Mula cleared 14 feet 3.5 to win first place. Anna Willis second at 13 3.25, and then Eliza Atkin third with 12 foot 10 inches. So we swept the 800 in the pole vault and women there. Jaden Damiano and Mikhail Grace go 1-2 in the 60 meter hurdles. Evan Jansen set a PR in the 400 meter with a run of 47.82 seconds. That won gold. And Braxton Smith ran a 47.97 for third. Landon Olson cleared 7 feet. That's high. 7 feet 1 inch to win the high jump. And finally, Kenya Harris records a 41 foot 2.25 inch jump to win the triple jump. That happened on day two. Here's the standings and how it finished out. As we mentioned, both men and women finished second behind NDSU. The men, NDSU 191.5, USD 145, SDSU 134.5. Women, NDSU 177, USD 143, UND 141.5. SDSU finished with 72 points on the women's side. So we were able to pick up a couple points in the interstate series, but great job. There were a ton of records broken, USD indoor records broken, a ton of PRs set this year, school records. All of that stuff is available on goyotes.com. Definitely check out the recap. There's a lot more.
Yeah. If you're watching out there on Facebook, YouTube, whatever else, you can go ahead and chime in. We did have a viewer comment here. The guy, darn it, I forgot to switch my account.
I agree.
All right. Well, let's jump back over here. On this one, we got the Interstate Series update, Jordan.
Yeah, so after the weekend, USD grew the lead to 9.5 to 5.5 there. USD's won or tied with women's soccer. We won football, both men's basketball, women's basketball, swept swim and dive, swept the track and field. So that's where we get the 9.5, and then lost volleyball, cross country, and then the women's basketball game. So what's left is the softball series, March 20th through the 22nd. Believe it or not, that's a few weeks away down in Vermilion. I believe it's best of 3, so that's how you get a point. And then some conference championships, April and May for golf down in the Mecca of the Summit League, Mesa, Arizona. And then track and field will end the second week of May up in Fargo. So just 5 events left to earn points, and we're up by 4. So great job to the student athletes.
And Mark, if you take away soccer, what's the score?
It's a Dolly Parton song.
It's your favorite one, 9-5. All right.
That's still the Corn Cup to me. They can call it whatever they want to, but that's the Corn Cup. So
at least we don't have to wear those ugly orange shirts.
Correct. Softball was down in Miami, Florida, and picked up a victory over Harvard, 7-5. Sarah Iberg with a game-tying double and 2 RBI. Brooke Carey, 3 for 4. Madison Evans, Elle McGee, 2 for 4, and an RBI each. And Madison Evans also pitched the complete game there.
Sorry.
You're good. That afternoon, we played Fordham and lost this one 3-0. Madison Evans was 2 for 3. And Aubrey Lensmeyer pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits and no earned runs. So once again, we only had the 1 error, but it proved costly. So the following morning, played Florida International. This one I mentioned to you guys in the group chat. It was so disappointing. We were ahead 10-4 going into the bottom of the 5th, and ended up getting mercy ruled 18-10. So there was a long rain delay, and coming out of the rain delay, the wheels came off. So Madison Evans, that's one name we keep hearing here on these scores. She's always on the highlights here. 3 for 4, 4 RBI. Brooke Carey, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Kirsten Cameron, 2 for 2 with an RBI. And of the 18 runs Florida International scored, only 7 of them were earned. Or I'm sorry, gave up 7 unearned runs. 11 runs, 7 of them unearned for the 18 total. So that was a hard one. So then we tried them again the following morning. Delaney White went 1 for 3, and German Camel pitched 6 innings and gave up 2 earned runs. Unfortunately, came up on the wrong end of that one, 4-1. And isn't there one more there, Chad?
Oh, is there one more? Sorry.
No. We tried Harvard again, and for the 3rd time in USD softball history, which started in 1978. It's a draw, a 9-9 draw. Madison Evans 2 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. Abby Brown a 3-run home run. This one got delayed due to the afternoon weather that comes through down in that part of the world. I assume we had to catch flights. So for the 3rd time ever, it's a draw. We're 4-15-1 on the season. So,
but against Harvard, we're 1-1 or 1-0-1, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So take that, Ivy League.
Yeah, we should scrabble them.
The Harvard of the Prairie beat the regular Harvard.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Well, guys, next up, looking for the perfect game day treat? Swing by Dairy Queen in Vermilion, Hartford, or Del Rapids. Whether you're celebrating a big Coyote win or just need a pick-me-up, nothing hits the spot like a blizzard treat, a classic DQ cone, or your favorite signature snack burger. From after-school stops to post-game celebrations, Dairy Queen is the place to gather, refuel, and treat yourself. Stop into the Dairy Queen of Vermilion, Hartford, or Del Rapids today, because every day is a little better with DQ. All right. Every week, DQ sponsors the DQ Player of the Week. And Jordan, this week? Oops.
It's Jordan Crawford, looks like.
Did we lose Jordan? We lost Jordan.
Jordan Crawford versus the belly button. 26 points, 5 for 7 from 3, and followed that up with a very nice performance against South Dakota State for senior night and to wrap up their regular season and secure the 4th seed. 17 points, 5 assists, and a rainbow 3 that was beautiful among it. So congrats to Jordan.
Congrats, Jordan Crawford.
Great first name.
All right. You're back, Jordan. You froze up for a second. You okay?
It's always one time an episode, and it just happened to be during the DQ Player of the Week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Funny. Okay.
Dairy Queen would have been better than Wendy's up in Brookings, I'll tell you that.
Mark, you went to Dairy Queen this past week, didn't you?
We sure did. Yeah. It was
What'd you get?
fantastic. The usual. I should try something else on the menu, but I always get the chicken strip basket, a drink, and a mini blizzard, and you can't beat it and never regret it. So,
What do you dip your chicken strips into? Do you get the gravy or do you get like a dipping sauce?
I get the gravy, and so I had a discussion on Twitter about this. Someone suggested I dip my fries in the blizzard, but my chicken strips go in the gravy with just a little bit of ketchup as well. So
I don't think you've never lived unless you dip your chicken strips in a cookie dough blizzard, though. I'm just saying.
My fries go in the blizzard. Yeah.
Okay, well you're halfway there.
Yeah. Next time.
All right. What's coming up this week, Mark?
This week, as we've been mentioning, it's something called the Summit League Tournament up in Sioux Falls. I highly recommend getting up there. I think our teams are going to do well. The men play Omaha Friday at 6, and the women play Michael Sharp. See you there. Women will play Denver Friday at 2:30-ish. There's a noon game before, and it'll start, what would it say, 25 minutes after that first game. So come hang out in the hospitality room before that, and we'll figure it out and go in there and cheer them on. Tennis will be out at Air Force Saturday at 6. And softball will go over to Colorado, Greeley, Colorado, to play Northern Colorado and Colorado State and pick up 4 or 5 wins.
Looking forward to that. It's been a great week, but like we do this week, every time.
And that's just what they wanted to do there. And all things considered, again, you see the iChart cardboard cutout. How appropriate.
Through the review, the iChart made its way to the video board. It really injected some energy.
Our own Mark Wendt is famous for holding up that eye chart at men's and women's basketball games when officials make questionable calls. We give our eye chart of the week moments to questionable calls, whether they happen during games or just in life. As always, the eye chart of the week is sponsored by Maloney Real Estate. Buying or selling a home can feel a little like game day, exciting, stressful, and you really want the right team on your side. That's where Maloney Real Estate comes in. When you list your home with Maloney Real Estate, you're automatically covered by a $25,000 seller protection errors and omissions policy, included at no extra cost. And here's the kicker. That coverage lasts for 180 days after your home sells. It's peace of mind you don't usually get in real estate. And definitely not just a sign in your yard. Maloney Real Estate, more than just a sign in your yard.
Correct.
All right, guys. Well, we did our eye chart moments this past week, and Mark and I did. Jordan, you didn't do yours because you're, not doing one for Lent. But
right.
Guess what? You won. So, yeah, you should not do it ever again. But then Jordan Decker, you were also second.
Man, it is all about me. Let's go.
Yeah, and Mark's just ridiculous doubling down on parking situations ended up backfiring, and he did not get very well received. So, Jordan Decker, I know you're not giving an eye chart of the week, but just the floor is yours.
If I had an eye chart this week, it would go to myself. Our team in this rec basketball league that I'm fortunate enough to play in, we're in the quarterfinals of the league, and we had the ball down 2 with, I don't know, I think it was 3 seconds, point something left. And I got the ball thrown to me at half court. It was high because it had to be. And I jumped up and got it. And instead of turning around and shooting a shot that I felt comfortable with right before half court, I thought I'd turn the other way and try to hit a cutting guy who was not there. And I threw it right to the other team as time expired. And we lost the game because I did that instead of taking things into my own hands and trusting myself and shooting. So my eye chart this week goes to myself for losing the game.
If you were to give an eye chart.
If I were to give an eye chart, this is all hypothetical. If I were to,
Right.
Yeah.
I think you can add tell me about your rec league basketball game to the list of things I don't really care to hear about. So kind of tell me about your fantasy football team. I don't know. I feel like
you had the mute button. You could have just muted me.
No. I fell asleep there for a little bit. I missed
people listening to this would have thought I just froze again.
You're right. I was kind of hoping it would be like a Carlton from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where you shot it and it just went off the side of the backboard or whatever. But
I've made those shots before. That's what makes it even. Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, there's always next year.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go next. My chart of the week this week goes to vehicles. I had to drive to Brookings not once but twice this weekend, and the first time went relatively well. Jordan rode with me. We drove one of my newer vehicles and ended up having a fine trip. Today I had to go back up to Brookings for a church league event called Dart Ball. Took place up there in Brookings, and on the way back, my check engine light came on. It wasn't blinking or anything, just came on. Didn't think anything of it. Pulled into Sioux Falls, stopped at a truck stop area there, pulled into a parking spot, and all of a sudden the engine just stopped. Put it in park, tried to start the engine, would not start. Had to call a tow truck, sit and wait for an hour and a half on a Sunday afternoon for a tow truck. Not the funnest thing in the world at a truck stop. Had to get the vehicle towed to the shop. I'm sure there's probably about $1.2 million worth of damage to it that I'll have to take care of. I don't know. I'm not good with numbers, but I am. But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to paying that bill or deciding whether to fix my vehicle or keep it. So it's going to be fun. So vehicles, you get my eye chart of the week.
Oh, my eye chart, I don't know, you guys were both at the South Dakota State game. We mentioned that was a decent crowd there, but empty seats available. If more people want to come, are there spots available? Okay. So I saw this on social media. I would have pointed out beforehand, but I didn't see it till after the fact. But a downtown establishment, Doc's Bar in the Old Holler, posted this on their Instagram. Open from 1 to 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Come to watch the Hate State game at Doc's and these drink specials. Now, here's the thing. We pointed out a couple of businesses that have done this in the past. This one may be the most egregious. Doc's normal hours are from 8 p.m. till close Monday through Saturday. We decided to open up at 1 p.m. on this particular Saturday because we were playing South Dakota State. The thing is, we were playing South Dakota State at home in Vermilion. We have to figure this out, Vermilion, especially downtown. I'm not telling you can't be open, but to beg people to come to watch the game there when it's happening in the town, I can't stand for it. And so you get my eye chart of the week, and I hope you win. Doc's Bar gets my eye chart of the week.
I hope that one wins.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. Do we have any fan submissions this week?
I didn't see any, or I don't remember them now.
I had a couple people come up to me and give me fan submissions, but here's the deal, guys. Okay. If you're going to give someone a submission for not going to a game, okay, I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So, people have reasons for not going to games. I'm fine with that, right? As long as you're not going to a local establishment and partaking down there when you could be at the game. But, just saying, well, so-and-so wasn't at this game, you get the eye chart of the week. Well, people have lives and people have stuff going on. And I understand that. And, I wasn't there on Wednesday night. My family has church activities on Wednesday nights. Mark, you weren't there on Saturday, right? You have some family stuff going on there. We kind of have to go beyond shaming people for not going to events, and let's celebrate the people that are there and enjoy those type of moments. And I'm happy with that. I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on that whole thing.
Yeah, if I could have been there, I would have been there. Guarantee you.
I usually try to create FOMO so that the next time that someone can go to a game, they're like, yeah, let's go.
Well, Yeah, and Mark, do I have a bad time at any games?
I mean, I haven't witnessed it yet.
Not at home games, Chad. I would argue
Not at
last
home.
night we
Yes,
didn't have a great time.
Maybe the women's game was a little bit not
Oh,
fun, but yeah. But that's one of those things where I always have a great time at all the home games I go to, and so yeah, that was something else. We did have one submission though. This was pointed out by the scorers table. I'll just leave names out of it. During the game, there was a review. The men's game, there was a review against South Dakota State, and USD decided to review it and ended up winning the review, the challenge, and the official Kevin Rotter, new friend of the iChart, came over to the scorers table and said South Dakota State keeps their timeout instead of USD. South Dakota keeps their timeout, and so Kevin, you get the iChart of the week fan submission nominee from the scorers table.
Classic mistake. Classic.
It happens. We're all humans. But speaking of all being humans, Mark, tell us about 988.
988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. This past week, I received a email from a sister of one of my best friends in the Navy. Charlie was one of my best friends I ever had in the Navy and ever had in life. He ended his life. We're going on 20 years ago now. So I think about him a lot. And if you're in that boat and thinking about doing something like that, I hope you will use this resource. It's available. It's free. You can call him, you can text him, you can chat him, and it's a great first step. I know I would love to have Charlie making fun of me of my stumbling around on this show each and every week. So seriously, if you need help, please reach out. We need you around, and the world is a better place with you in it. So
well said, Mark. Special thanks to our sponsors, 19 Brewing Company, Good Beer, Better Company, DQ of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids, and Maloney Real Estate, more than just a sign in your yard. Every time I drive by one of those signs, I just think there's a lot more going on behind that sign than just a sign in the yard.
a lot more. Yeah.
A lot more there. Guys, I feel like there's a lot of stuff to announce. We're going to have some special stuff coming up here. It's Summit League Tournament Week. We're going to be featured on the Higher Power Sports show Monday night. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll get that all figured out. But Summit League tournaments going on. There's just lots of stuff to keep track of. So make sure everyone's keeping track of what's going on. Where's the best place to keep track of that?
GoYotes.com.
There we go.
TBD on next week though, right? We're gonna try to figure that out, kind of depending on how things shake out.
Correct. Yeah. Stay tuned to the socials, we said earlier. Stay tuned to the socials.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm sure there's lots of stuff we messed up on. As always, the Howling Podcast is produced by the Wakanda Peach Company, LLC, out of Burbank, South Dakota. Until next time,
Go
Yotes.
Go Yotes. Good night, Vermilion.
Let's go! 3 idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runs sucks.
we don't know if any of that's true, but Bill. Oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened.
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson, USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.